Celeste. I am the author of As I Am, a children's story about a child who is non-binary. I'm so excited you have visited my Kickstarter campaign, and I want to take a moment to tell you a little bit about why I wrote the book, As I Am. I'm an early childhood educator, and I have done a lot of work on anti-bias education. And there is a severe lack of stories for preschoolers that challenge the gender binary and challenge the transphobic messages so prevalent in children's media and literacy. Children 3, 4, 5, 6 are having a surge in their cognitive abilities to understand their identities and their gender. And so they're doing a lot of explorations about their gender when they're in preschool. They're also at a stage when they start constructing rules. But what is right, what is wrong, and what's allowed and why? They're really working and trying to understand the world. And they take the cues about those rules that they're forming on the messages and the media and the storytelling that they're hearing. And so if children do not have access to stories that challenge toxic masculinity, they don't have access to stories that challenge the patriarchy, they don't have stories that challenge transphobic messaging or the gender binary, they will construct rigid rules around gender. And those rules are not accurate. They do not express the full spectrum of the human condition.
Hi, I'm Z. I'm a freelance creative and a community worker from Queensland, Australia, and I'm asking you please to pledge anything and everything you can towards this Kickstarter. I grew up non-binary in a very binary world in the 90s, and I wish this book had been around when I was a kid so that I could have the words and the pictures to express who I was as I am. This is me with my cat Tabitha, and just like in Celeste's book, she and all the animals and pets in my life never once made me feel bad for being different. If you have a pet, if you have a kid, if you just want the world to be brighter and better for everyone, support As I Am and get this book out into the world. So, do it for me, do it for Tabby. Thank you so much for your support.
Hi, I'm Isaac. I am a 28-year-old trans-masc individual, and I currently work in retail. In my spare time, I'm a creative, and I just wanted to share a little bit of my experience and why I think that this project is so incredibly amazing and so deserving of all of your support. Growing up, I know that I never really understood where I fit on the gender spectrum. I definitely didn't think that I was a girl, but I also wasn't sure whether or not I was a boy because that just wasn't talked about. We were always allowed to be ourselves and to embrace whoever we wanted to be, but we were never told specifically that you don't have to fit into the box you were put in at birth. And, you know, I can say that pets have always, this was really good timing, pets have always been there to support me, and As I Am is such a beautiful story because it's true, no matter who you are or what your day is like, you always come home to love, and it's something that children need to hear, that who they are is absolutely okay, and to enjoy the support you have along the way, and to know that you're not alone is so much more important than I think people realize, because, you know, who you are is important, and knowing that who you are is valid is even more so. And I would have loved to have stories like this in the 90s growing up, and to have my brothers be able to read it and understand, you know, what goes on and that this is normal. But, we can fix that now, and anything you can pledge, even the smallest amount, just please. This is so important and will help so many people, and yeah, thank you in advance for anything that you are able to give. It means so much.
The more representation you can get into a classroom, the better. Like, you want children to feel at home in a classroom where they're going to be spending so much of their time, so much of their energy, so much time, creating core memories and core connections with people. And what better way to make sure that everybody's being represented than making sure we're representing everybody. So where there isn't much literature, and children's literature specifically, about gender non-conforming kiddos and what it looks like to kind of like live outside the binary of gender and just all the other different labels that the patriarchy puts on us. It's just incredibly important. Just incredibly important to make sure that kiddos feel seen, feel safe, feel heard, feel represented.
So as a mom of a gender fluid kiddo, every time I look at this book, I kind of start to cry out of relief and really gratitude. It's so beautiful and affirming. My kiddo is so very brave, but they shouldn't have to be so brave to be who they are in this world. This book is an amazing step in making the world a safer place for kids like mine, for all children, really. Maybe one day I won't experience so much fear around wondering if they will meet violence or harm in this world as they grow older and walk further away from me and become independent. This book makes that world a safer world, more possible.
It happens a lot on playgrounds where it's girls only space, or boys can't wear dresses. Pink is only for girls. This is very common in early childhood. And so we need to make stories that challenge these limiting beliefs and provide a counter narrative about the gender binary. And so that is why I'm asking for your help to get As I Am into the world. I couldn't find any stories about a non-binary protagonist for young children that was a human. And that's why I wrote this book, so that we can make this available for children around the world and help us create a more just and fair and loving society for all.
As an illustrator for this book, I'm really excited about it because it resonates with my own childhood memories and my own feelings as a child. I remember having inner battle because I wanted to be active, quirky, having short hair as Mowgli, and being sweet and glamorous as Minnie Mouse. And I couldn't fit it in my head because I didn't understand how could I combine those things. How can I have those girlish things in me and boyish things in me? And nobody ever told me that it's okay and it's normal. So I wish I had this book when I was a child so it could lead me and show me the way. It's extremely important in personal development, and when you're growing up, there is no place for shame when it comes to identity and self-expression. So in this book, we aim to reflect the child's nature through their feelings, actions, memories, interests, those who surround them, and along with illustrations which challenge readers to think outside of the gender binary, the text directly introduces such notion as non-binary and encourages to use appropriate pronouns.
As a straight cisgender parent, like any parent, I love my child and want to support them in who they are and who they're becoming. But it can be really scary to not have the same experiences that they're going to have, to not understand what their journey is going to be. Stories are a great way to explore and understand and learn about those experiences together, every bit as meaningful to me as it is to them.
$5, $10, $15, $30. Any amount that you can contribute would be greatly appreciated. It doesn't take a lot to self-publish a book, make it available. So whatever you can give, so appreciated. I thank you for your time. And I can't wait to get this book into the world. Thank you.